We know who's doing which one?
Yeah, I told them,
Okay.
so.
Excellent.
Imagine the president of a foreign country holding you in custody and thus banning you from leaving the country. As I was clicking through articles on CNN.com, I came upon the Egyptian conflict, which has been in the press since last spring. I did not know much about the topic, though, as a College of Worcester global citizen, I know that it is imperative for you and I to understand what's going on outside of the Worcester bubble. I researched the topic thoroughly and can adequately provide you with information as to why 43 people are being held in Egyptian criminal courts. 19 of these 43 people are American. These 43 people are being held on charges for providing aid illegally as part of an NGO. An NGO is a non-governmental organization. Now, to give you an idea of why these 43 people are being held, I will provide you with quotes between Egyptian and U.S. officials, cover the democratic protests in Egypt, and finally discuss U.S. and Egyptian relations. Now, to my first point, why is it that international authorities, being mostly United States, and Egyptian government are having issues with the status of NGOs? According to CNN, on February 5, 2012, 17 raids have been committed on 10 NGOs. None of these raids have been explained. According to the Chicago Tribune, on February 8, 2012, in an interview with Judge Sami Abu Zaid, it was stated that the raids have been committed in line with the Egyptian criminal court. Now, 160 pages of evidence is being allegedly held against these supposed criminals. Now, some of it is considered to be very dangerous. According to Al Jazeera, an Egyptian newspaper, on February 6, 2012, these international organizations, or NGOs, with regard to the Egyptian licensure, have been receiving and providing illegal aid to churches and protesters who are obviously against the Egyptian government. According to the Human Rights Watch, which is supported by the UN, Egypt has been asked to stop this investigation. Joe Stork, the Human Rights Watch deputy and Middle East director, has said that the government should stop using the old law, halt criminal investigation, and propose a law that respects international standards. According to the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, on February 6, 2012, Sam Hood, an United States citizen, is also being held. He is the son of the U.S. Secretary of the Department of Transportation. Naturally, the United States would love to see him home. You now have an idea of the communication going on between the U.S. and Egyptian officials. But now to the second point. How did the protest for democracy escalate what's going on in Egypt at the current time? According to Al Jazeera, the protests for democracy continue, and a new presidential is demanded by these protesters along with an early handover of military power. Thousands of people accused the Supreme Forces of preventing the death of 72 people. This happened in a soccer match between Al Ahly and Al Misri on February 1, 2012. Police allegedly allowed the continuation of violence and did not do anything about it. According to Al Jazeera, Shireen Tadros, I quote, "The situation in Egypt is really deteriorating and looking much like a war zone in the area around and in the Interior Ministry building." And this brings me to my final point. Are U.S. and Egyptian relations going to change? According to CNN, the U.S. provides $1.3 billion in aid to Egypt a year. Since 1975, $28 billion has been provided in economic and developmental assistance. According to the Chicago Tribune, the U.S. wants Egypt to drop these travel bans, and they want these 19 Americans to come home. Egypt has stated it will not intervene, though two officials have officially stated that they do want to see the Americans go home and they do not want to jeopardize aid. Now, it's really hard to imagine being held in custody and banned from going home. These 43 people wait in Egyptian criminal court. They might not come home, though the United States does hope Egypt will respond to this ban on aid.